Good morning, everyone. Just headed into work. I wanted to share a quick testimony I had with you from over the weekend. So for a couple of weeks, I was seeing like this vibrant color blue. Okay, in my dreams, everywhere I go, I'm even right now, I don't know why it's standing out, like the only color. Like I see vibrant colors, things but they didn't like bam, and like I see it and it like hits me. It's like a there, kind of deal. So I was just when I was driving, like on the same roads I drive every single day, I had that I would just see the color blue. Like even coming from work, normally like the street signs are blue on some parts. Never noticed them before because here they're green, Nope, it was blue. So I don't know if I told you this or not already, but that was what was happening. And so the first one that I seen with that pop of color that was like wow was Eyeglass World. Okay, it's a really pretty, it's like sapphire blue, and with the red G, which is like the hourglass, whatever, I don't really know, but it's a really pretty blue, and that was the first sign that I seen that like stood out to me like that. So that's where my girls wear glasses, so I was going to take my 7-year-old to go get glasses. So I had my husband make her an appointment, and I took Friday off, and I was going to take her. I took her to the appointment, but he didn't make the appointment for Eyeglass World. He made it for America's Best. Okay, I wasn't really knowing that the blue was pertaining to anything that related to me whatsoever, but America's Best is blue too, but I wasn't really thinking about it. So I took her to the appointment, and it was like I get there, and my insurance, they don't give you like a separate card. The only other card I get is for dental. Everything is attached to my one insurance card. I don't know, it's healthcare employee insurance. Like it I don't know, it's weird. But even when I go, I've never had a problem with it. Like I go, give them the card, they figure it out. They usually have it ready before I get there, excuse me. And we're good to go. No problem. Somehow, this time she didn't have it. And I filled out the paperwork before I got there. And she was like, well, I can't see. I need you. I don't know what it is. First of all, we're standing there waiting for 10 minutes because she was doing something. It wasn't even busy. It wasn't like there was like a bunch of customers or stuff in there. She was just kind of wandering around the building, the front desk lady. And so she was like, do you have your insurance? And I'm like, I don't know what it is. This is the card that I always use, and there has not been a problem. She was like, okay, well, I need you to call and figure it out. I need to call? I have to sit on hold and call these people? I was like, fine. I was like, okay, so I did that, and I called, and the first time somebody answered, and she was like, well, you are it's separate from the main insurance, because all I could do is call the main insurance line. So it's a separate from this one. I will give you the number and transfer you out to the person that handles that. Okay, so she transfers me over there, and then the phone disconnects. I get hung up on. And so I'm like, okay. And then, so I waited a couple minutes. I tried to look it up another way, and then I was like, forget it. And then I called again, and the lady was like, oh yeah, you have such and such. And I'm like, okay, but of course, such and such is out of network. It's not a preferred, so it would cost more or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I tell her that, but I have to call them to get my member ID number because they didn't give that to me. So she's like, okay, well, let's look it up over here with your social and your date of birth and blah, blah, blah. And then first of all, so me and my husband are married, but we're just now legally married. But I have a son from a previous relationship, so I'm not really sure whether I'm changing my name or I'm hyphenating or whatever, because my son would be the only one with that last name, and as of right now, he's the only boy with that last name, besides my brother. But my brother ain't doing nothing that could carry on the bloodline. You know what I mean? Otherwise, my dad's last name dies. So, and my husband's totally fine with that. Like, he doesn't care. You know, I mean, we're married. But so she asked me. She was like, "You have a different last name?" First of all, how is that any of your business? And then she kind of like retracted it real quick. Like, she's like, oh, okay. You know, like, she realized what she had said. Like, why? First of all, and this is the first time you've ever seen that, as children that don't have the same last name, or people that don't. I see that all day long. I work in health there. I see that all day long, where two people are married, the wife hasn't taken the name or whatever, and they're like 80. You know, it wasn't their thing. So fine. But anyway, after that, she was like, I can't find anything for you. It's not pulling anything up. She's like, I'm going to need you to call this and such and get your member number. I was like, I'm not doing all of this. Because when I did try to call, and it was like 2 hour wait online on hold. And I was like, I don't have time for this. I'm already past my appointment window at this point in time, because we've now did all this nonsense beforehand. So I was like, no, I'm probably not going to be putting in that much more effort. I was like, thank you for your time. And then me and my daughter, we left. I was like, and as I'm standing on the phone, I heard in my spirit, like, leave, just go. Don't do this, just go. And I'm like, but I'm here now. And, you know, of course I'm fighting back. I'm like, I'm here now. Why am I going to go somewhere else? If I just got to do this real quick, then it's fine, you know, because it wasn't right for me to have to be the one to call all these numbers. And what are you sitting there doing though? It wasn't like she had a line out the door and was helping. You weren't doing anything. She was sitting there while I'm doing all the work. And one of the glasses technicians was like, oh, is there something that we can do? You know, she was like, I don't know. I don't know. And I don't think she knew that I heard her, because I'm on the phone. But low-key, I heard you. Oh no. Sitting there looking stupid. Forgive me, Lord. And so I was like, whatever. So I called my husband. We left. We get in the car, and I called my husband. I was like, well, that was a bust. I was calling my own insurance, trying to figure this out. They didn't have this kind, and then it was out of network and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, so what do I do? I'm like, we're going to go to Eyeglass World. I go to Eyeglass World, and I was like, so I'm so sorry, but I need an appointment for her today. If you don't have any walk-ins, because I was trying to look at their schedule ahead of time. They didn't have any walk-ins or appointments left. So I was like, for Friday. So I was like, okay. I was like, I'll even do another one tomorrow, or if there's one later on in the day, or at a different site. The guy was wonderful. He was so perfect. And I told him about the VSP situation, or my such and such insurance that was out of network. And he was all just like, he's like, yes, but sometimes we run our own specials, and so right now it might be cheaper. He's like, just ask if it's cheaper without the insurance to do it that way. And I was like, okay. So he made me an appointment for Saturday at like 2 at a different location. He's like, I have that one and it's available right now. He's like, he put me in that slot. Me and my daughter, perfectly fine, done, effortless at the Blue Eyeglass World that I had originally seen to begin with. Okay. So when I went to the new Eyeglass World, which was a little bit farther from my house, I went over there. And that's where we were getting her glasses. So we went there, and we kind of had the same situation where he was like, I'm not pulling up your insurance. But we had been to Eyeglass World before. We had been there. And so he was like, but I'm pulling up like United Healthcare or something. And I was like, is it active? And he was like, yeah. He was like, it's completely active. And United Healthcare is in network and covers stuff. And I was like, well, then let's do it. He was like, absolutely. He went, he ran it, no problem. I didn't have to call anybody. He looked it up. He did the same thing that she did, looked it up, and still didn't find anything with the such and such insurance. So, but when he looked, the United Healthcare, it was perfectly fine. He was like, it's all ready to go. He was like, you have it. You know, I don't know. I'm the patient in this situation. When I figure out my plan and configure everything, I don't remember what I hit, and it doesn't tell you on the card. So I'm like, I'm doing the best that at this moment, I am the patient. So I need you to help me. to guide me, not have everybody sitting there looking stupid, me calling around for hours trying to figure out what it is that we can do. That doesn't make any sense, and that's lazy. That is lazy. And so it was a wonderful experience at this place. I went. Their lenses, $130 covered for the lenses. She got what she needed, the pair that she wanted, got her extra special prescription because she's blind. Oh, Lord Jesus, is she blind? And here we are. It was amazing and effortless. And I just wanted to share that because it was effortless. Effortless. When I was obedient, and I probably shouldn't have passed the buck and said, hey, hubby, make an appointment. But I just didn't know that wasn't supposed to not. And I should have thrown a fit when I realized it was America's Best and I was probably supposed to have been at the Eyeglass World to begin with. But I didn't know about all that, you know. But the bottom line is we made it. We figured it out. We got where we needed to be. And it was all covered. Y'all, God is good. God is amazing. Thank you for listening. Like, subscribe, follow me, guys. Follow me because it only gets better from here. I love you all. Goodbye.